We got to go ahead and review Batman the Animated Series, Episode 5, chat. Pretty Poison. Now, it has been a hot minute since we last reviewed Batman. The last episode, I believe, was, well, episode 4, obviously, but it was the last laugh, I believe, where Joker had used a stinky garbage barge to poison Gotham and ran amok in the city and stole the shit. And apparently the poison was going to kill everybody like in the span of 3 days. So I was like, wow. That's some evil shit, Joker. But thankfully, Batman saved the day, Chad. He stopped the Joker, cured everybody, tortured Alfred a little bit, because that is what he often does. So, it was a success for all intents and purposes. But now, chat, we have a new Batman adventure. And we are looking, chat, we are looking above the Gotham waterway on a grassy hill that is covered in weeds and wonderful, beautiful-looking wildflowers. It's like, oh, this is great. And we see this lone figure, chat. She's getting these plants. She's putting them in the pots and stuff. And who does she see down there, chat? She sees one Bruce Wayne and Harvey Dent, chat. The new district attorney of Gotham City, chat. This is long before he became Two-Face, chat. This is when he was one of Gotham's shining white knights, if you will. And so they got a whole big shindig going on down there. They have the mayor of Gotham City, chat. Mayor Hill, I believe is his name. And he's like, I'm so happy to be here today to make this man's dream come true, where we will finally build a proper penitentiary for Gothamites who have sadly may have fallen off into darker times, but hopefully this penitentiary will lift them up and they can be re-educated and released back to society. And clap, 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 clap. And it's all because of this man right here, Harvey Dent, and a fucking huge contribution from one playboy Bruce Wayne, of course. And Harvey's like, this has been a dream of mine, guys. Thank you for joining me. Like, this is a bright day for Gotham. It's always darkest right before the dawn, but the dawn is coming, my friends, and it comes here with this new penitentiary. And let us go ahead and take the first shovelful of dirt and to commence. And he fucking digs in their chat pictures. Everyone's like, yay, yay. But that lone figure on the hill is like, fuck that guy. Cut 5 years later, chat, to a brighter, better Gotham. Doesn't look like it. The penitentiary's been built. Those wildflowers, chat, they've been ripped up from the ground. The entire geography of the area has been torn asunder for this concrete obelisk, chat. This labyrinth of steel and stone to represent a brighter, better Gotham, does it? Because there's a fucking jailbreak happening right now. And helicopters are landing, chat, and they're picking up inmates right now. The guards are getting shot to shit. It's like, whoa, this is not a brighter, better Gotham. You lied, Harvey Dent. You lied. You're two-faced, Harvey. And so this one guy, chat, he gets in the helicopter, and I guess he was the one who started the riot. He's like, get me out of here. And chat, it's fucking Mo. It's goddamn Mo from the Three Stooges. He staged the prison riot. Apparently, Curly and Harry, they were murdered in the riot, chat. They didn't make it, but fucking Mo, he's out there. Mo Stooge, he gets out there. She's like, let's go, you goddamn idiot. And they fly off into the night, chat. And it's like, oh my God, what's going to happen? And then fucking GCPD, own Commissioner Gordon, he gets a call on the telephone. Angie's like, well, what's up? He's like, oh, God, a prison escape. Oh, we got to get going, guys. Let's go. And, fucking Harvey Bullock, chat. He's just drinking coffee, eating donuts. It's like, this man's going to have a heart attack in the coming days. And he's like, I don't give a shit. I just want to keep eating. He's like, you got to get up, Bullock. And they run off, chat, not before we grab some more donuts. We got to track that helicopter right now before it causes more damage. And then, as we see this helicopter going through Gotham City, chat, we cut down to this nice little bistro, this little cafe, chat, the Rose Cafe, one of the most affluent restaurants in Gotham City. And we see two patrons, chat, and one is the district attorney, which you saw earlier, Harvey Dent, and he is talking to this beautiful red-haired woman. And he's like, I'm so happy that you're having dinner with me right now. This has been amazing. She's like, oh, Harv, I gotta tell you, getting to know you has been the best experience of my life in a long time. It's like, I'm so glad you feel that way. And it's like, why don't we go ahead and order? The waiter comes here. He's like, what would you like, sir? He's like, I'd like a Caesar salad. And she goes, Caesar. And the girl, she'll take fucking whiskey. Neat. And it's like, that's my kind of girl. And she's like, well, shouldn't we wait for your friend? And she's like, oh, Bruce, he's always late. He's probably taking a meeting right now or doing his extracurricular nightly activities, if you get my saying. He's fucking a lot of broads, but he's not doing that, chat, because he is the Batman spoiler. And he's chasing after this helicopter, chat. He fucking grapple hooks on this goddamn thing. He ties up around the building. This thing fucking smashes into a building. It goes like, it stops in midair and woo, it goes right into it. First of all, those guys would have died if they were in that helicopter, okay? And that thing could have caused a massive explosion on the skyscraper, and it could have fallen onto the streets of Gotham. So, Batman, you fucking judged that right. I know you're a genius detective, you're a mathematician, a scientist, everything above, so you probably judge the physics and the geometry and, like, it's gonna be fine. But the thing crashes, fucking Mo, he's panicking, chat, the helicopter, he's dead, his neck's been snapped, so Batman's rule, that's what I'll do it. Now he's fine, he's got a little bump on that, he's okay, a little concussed, if you will. Didn't kill him. Maybe paralyzing the neck down, that's a possibility, but... Mo, he's like, what the hell happened? It's the Batman. He's like, I'm here. And Mo, he fucking takes off across the rooftop. And apparently Mo, he's one of Batman's toughest physical threats that he's fought in a lifetime, because Batman is really physically trying to, like, get a hold of this guy. And Mo keeps throwing Batman off. Eventually, Mo, he tires out from all the wrestling. Batman, he handcuffs him. He's off to prison with you. He's like, I got a date to catch. And then he heads back to Wayne Manor, chat. Alfred's there. I believe this is the introduction of Alfred, voiced by, oh god, I forget the actor's name. Damn it. Trying to remember. Oh, here we go. It is Ephraim Zimbalist Jr. Before that, they had another actor voicing Alfred, only for like 3 episodes. And so this is the introduction of the Alfred, who would then voice his character for nearly 20 years, chat. He actually passed away a couple years ago, but this is a fantastic take on Alfred. I love it. And so he's fucking there. He's like, I have your suit pressed, sir. And it's the same suit we always see him in, chat. The brown. I'll admit, chat, it's a very ugly looking suit. If I have one criticism of the animated series, is that Bruce Wayne has some shit taste in clothes, because he's wearing like a shit brown sports coat in pants, chat, and a mustard yellow shirt and a black tie. Weird look. Very weird look. Season 2 is so much juicier. What, for Batman? And so he gets this, and Alfred's like, go get this dinner, it's delicious. He's like, I'll do that, Alfred, I'm hungry. And so he drives out to the restaurant, chat, and apparently it's been some time, because we cut there, chat, and Bruce, he's laughing with Harvey, Big Bad Harv, chat, and we're introduced to Pamela Isley, chat. This is Pamela Isley. And, they're having a good conversation. He's like, oh, boys, I'm sorry, look at the time, I gotta get going. I got an early lecture tomorrow. He's like, do you have to leave? I mean, are you sure? He's like, I'm sorry, Harvey, I got to teach a class. It's, but here's the thing. You and Bruce, you take the time, you go ahead and talk and joke and everything, and as soon as you're done, you call me later tonight. And Chet, she gives him a big wet smooch, and she takes her time. There's lips, there's licking, there's a tongue wagging in there. Bruce is just like, Jesus. I'm just gonna wait. You go, okay, they're still going. Fair enough. It's like, goddamn, Harv, you hit the goddamn jackpot. Good for you. And then she walks off, chat, and my God, like, you can get away with a lot in the cartoons back in the day, because we just see her hips shaking back and forth, chat. Everyone's like, oh my God, look at that ass. That's what they're doing, chat. Even the wearer's like, damn. And so she walks out. And Bruce is like, wow, Harvey, well, I'm happy for you. He's like, I'm happy for me too, Bruce. That's why I proposed to her. Propose what? Marriage. He's like, what are you talking? You've known this girl for less than a week. He's like, I don't care. As soon as I saw it, it's like a spell came over me. Like a toxic fume was spraying my face and got into my body and took over my mind. And I was just infatuated with Pamela Isley. Is it fucking hot in here or what? And he's like, oh man, that kiss lasted a long time. I can see a little hot in the car. He's like, yeah, I need a fucking drink. Give me a drink. He's just fucking pounding waters down. And Bruce is like, Harvey, you're a little lovesick puppy. He's like, I'm a lovesick pup. Face in the chocolate mousse, chat, is like, he's knocked out. And Bruce is like, Harvey, what are you doing? What you goofer? Harvey? Harvey's no response. Like, oh my God, wait, I need an ambulance. And they call the ambulance, chat. They take Harvey Dent to the hospital. They put him in there. He's like, doctor comes out. He's been poisoned. Bruce is like, oh my God, who would poison the district attorney? What's going on? GCB calls in there. Commissioner Gordon, he's fucking pissed off. He's like, all right, I want guards posted outside this this fucking hospital room. Harvey Bullock, you go ahead and interrogate the staff. And fucking Harvey's like, yes, sir. And Harvey Bullock proceeds to just literally verbally abuse all the waiters and cooks at the restaurant, just being a real piece of shit. You know, trying to figure out who's the one that poisoned Harvey. And Bruce is like, this is so odd. And he goes to the doctor. He's like, okay, what is this? What's this poison? Like, we don't know, but it's some type of, maybe it's some type of plant, some type of rare plant. And if we don't find an antidote, then he could probably die. And Bruce goes, shit, that's not good. And so he takes a sample of the plant chat, that the doctor's looking at, I guess the fucking whatever they found on Harvey from his blood or something. And he goes back to the Batcave and he's like, yeah, it's from this exotic plant. It's a rose bush, exotic rose bush. Alfred, Harvey doesn't have much time. I'm going to go stop over at the Gotham Botanical Gardens. I'm going to pick up a sample. I'll be right back. I'll manufacture an antidote right now. And Alfred's like, you're shit out of luck, Bruce. That thing's extinct. He's like, it's extinct. Beep, bop, boop in the computer chat. It is extinct. And so that means no antidote. And he's like, oh my God, what the hell are we going to do? And like, Batman is he's like, I can't do anything. I'm a man of science, and the science I need doesn't exist anymore. That is a shock, chat. That's why you shouldn't build giant stone penitentiaries on wildflowers, chat. Should not do that. Mike, thank you so much for the 100 minis. Pokemon isn't Pokemon anymore. They're turning them into Gaiju. That'd be cool. But yeah, thank you for the 100 minis, my friend. And so Bruce Wayne's like, oh, listen, the only thing I can do then is just to go back to the hospital and give Harvey a good send-off, you know? He goes back there, chat. Harvey, he's just fucking sweating. He's all swollen, chat. He's not looking good. He's like thick Harvey now because his neck is swelled up so much. I think he's got like a frog's throat. And he's looking at Harvey, suffocating slowly to death. And who walks in, chat? Pamela Isley. And she's going there. She's like, as soon as I got your call, Bruce, I came on over. And she sees Harvey. She's like, oh, no, Harvey. She starts crying. Bruce is like, oh, it's okay. And Isley, she throws herself around Bruce. She's like, I'm just so scared, Bruce. I'm so scared for Harvey. And he goes, yeah. He's like, And remembers, chat. Remembers that big old hot smooch that Pam gave to Harv. And he's like, I don't trust you. And so then he takes her back to the garage, chat. She's because he's like, why don't you just go home and get some rest? Go ahead and call me anytime, Pam. She's like, I'll do that, Groovy Bruce. She gets in her car, chat, and she drives away, and Bruce is like, that bitch is lying. I know what this is about. And so he fucking goes back to the Batcave, chat. Like, Alfred, Pam, nah, she's not good. I should have known. She cast a spell on Harvey. I bet she's the one that poisoned him. And so he bops and beeps and boops in the computer, and they look it up. It's like, she's an expert in plant life. She's a biochemist. And she does lectures on extinct plants at Gotham University. And Batman's like, fucking knew it. I knew this bitch was lying. He's like, all right, Alfred, sue me up. And so he gets sued up, Chaz. I'm going to pay a visit to good old Pam. And so he gets there, chat. And he's looking inside her house, which is so obvious. She lives inside a giant greenhouse. And we see her, she's just snipping some leaves off some plants. And she's putting chemicals in the shit. She's like, that must be the poison. That's what it is. And so Pam, she's like, whoo, I'm spent. I'm going to get some sleep. And so she just proceeds to take off all of her clothes, chat. This is her home, that she can do that. Throwing all that stuff up there. And gets into something a little more comfortable. Batman's like, now's my cue. This is the time I'm going to attack. And so she's at a disadvantage. And so he infiltrates the greenhouse, chat. But when he's getting up to like her bedroom here, which is in the back of the greenhouse, he fucking, the floor gives way. He's like, whoa! And it's layered with cacti, chat. And big pointy cacti with needles that are like moving and shit. It's like, oh my God, are they alive? He manages to grab up to a vine. She grabs that fucking vine and he swings over the precipice of the cacti. He's like, whoo! But then the vine like goes, he's like, whoo! And it just wraps around his arm. More vines. It's the hentai vines, chat. The hentai vines. But thankfully, Batman, he has puckered those ass cheeks more than one time, and they cannot penetrate the bat hole, chat. No, they cannot. Now I can't penetrate that Batcave. And so they'll wrap him up instead. And then who walks out, chat? Pamela Isley. And she's like, oh, Batman, it's so good to see you. He's like, I knew you were lying. And she's like, oh, what are you talking about? Oh, the dear district attorney? Oh. And it's like, I knew it. She's like, yeah, I didn't give a shit. I did this for revenge. He's like, what the hell are you talking about, revenge? He's like, he built that penitentiary 5 years ago and destroyed all the plant life, all those wonderful weeds and wildflowers. He's a murderer! And I got my vengeance, and soon he will die. That's what's gonna happen. And soon you will die, Batman, because then the hentai binds then begin to fucking drag Bruce to a giant Venus flytrap. This thing fucking is huge. And it's like, I want the Batman. And so fucking it dragging in their chest, almost eating him, but he's managed to kicking the fucking shit out of it. He's kicking. He's like, you motherfucker, you, and he breaks the giant flytrap's teeth, chat. He smashed him. Ivy's like, all right, I gotta settle you down. Hold on. And so she just goes up there, chat, swaying those hips always. She knows what she's rocking, you know, okay? And she goes up there, chat, and he's like, she says, this is how I poison Harvey, by the way. It's this chemical I made from the plant, which I love. And I use lipstick. And she puts the lipstick on, chat, and she takes Batman, she gives him a big old hot smooth. Batman's like, when in Rome. And Batman could have just like went, no, but he leans into it and shit. He doesn't care. Batman knows what he's about. Batman knows what he's about. And he watched that fucking episode, chat. He leans into that shit. Awesome, everybody. Thank you. I'm Master Andromeda right after this review. No, you're gonna get The Last of Us Left Behind instead, Austin. Hopefully that's a good alternate turn of choice. And so she does it, but he spits. She's like, blah, I've had better. And Pam's like, I'm sure you have. And she goes ahead, she takes out the little perfume. She's like, now this, but this antidote is so lovely. And she puts a little bit behind your ears. It's like, oh, it smells so good, doesn't it? Doesn't it, Batman? And then Batman's like, I'm fucking done with this. And so he then proceeds to beat the shit out of the fly, because she's like, all right, eat him or whatever. And now he continues to smash its teeth, chat, and he gets a little knife out, and he cuts his way free from the vines. And, you know, Pam, she's like, no, don't do that. And this is a weird thing. I know she had that, but she has like a wrist crossbow. I forgot she had this in the animated series. And so she's like, I'm going to load up these bolts. And she fires them at Batman, chat, and they're missed. And she gets like this one big one, boom! And it hits her Venus flytrap plant, and it dies. And she's just like, what the fuck? And she's very mad at this point. And so it's pretty much a battle of just Batman pretty much trying to avoid her crossbow bolts. At one point, he uses his grappling hook to get up onto a light, chat, but he's too heavy. He's too thick, that Batman. Got a lot of Batman booty. And he brings that light down into this water in this little pond, chat, and that fucking bursts into flames. And now the greenhouse is on fire, and Pamela's like, ah! She's screaming, chat. She's having a good time. She's my babies, my beautiful babies. And she runs over. She's like trying to put the flames out. Batman's like, ain't gonna work, bitch. And so she goes over. She goes over to get the one plant that she has. And she's like, save us, Batman, save us. She's like, okay, but I need that antidote. She's like, never. And they have a little bit of a scuffle, chat. And she actually pushes him into the cacti trap. But he's holding on to the edge. So he's like, oh, if you kill me, you'll kill your baby too. He has the baby plant, chat, the rose that Harvey needs to manufacture the antidote. And she's like, no, not that, please, no. And it's like, give me the antidote and I won't drop this. And she's like, okay. And she gives him the antidote. He's like, I'm going to drink the shit out of this. He drinks the chat. And he's like, all right, let's fucking get out of here. And so he takes Pam, he takes the baby plant, chat, and he just thrusts her through a window. He's like, there you go. She busts through that window, chat, and she's come to shit. He's like, all right, this is nice. This is a good time for Batman. And I was like, you're under arrest. And then, chat, we come back to the hospital where they've inoculated Harvey Dent with the cure. He comes to, he's like, what happened? He's like, Harvey, no, you've just been in the hospital for a few days, but you're going to be okay. You're going to have a full recovery. He's like, that's good. Oh, I'm so happy to see you, Bruce. I know you are. By the way, gotta talk about your taste in women, Harv. I think it might be a bit of an issue right now. And then, chat, who's the woman he's talking about? It's Pam. It's Pamela Isley. Poison Ivy now. Ooh. Osnick, thank you for the host. And then we cut to the same Gotham Penitentiary from early episode, chat, and we go into its depths. And who do we see in the cell? It's Poison Ivy, chat, and she's just muttering to herself. It's like, no matter what you do to the plants, we always come back. And so she shall return in a future episode, chat. And that is Batman Episode 5, Pretty Poison, featuring the first appearance of one Pamela Isley. Good old Pam Poison Ivy, chat.